Hello, good evening, my Linux friends. I hope all is well for this Tuesday evening live show. Hopefully you guys are getting the notifications when I am jumping on. I don't really do too many of these on Tuesday nights. This is what I'm doing now because I don't have to get up in the morning. I'm probably going to sleep in until the crack of noon Wednesday. And then maybe shop at Lowe's and do what I have to do. So I hope all of you are doing well, safe and sound. This one's going to be a comments corner, commenting on some of your comments. Last I checked, almost 50 comments total. I'm not going to do all 50. I don't think you guys want to stick around me talking for about 50 minutes or so on comments from before. But this is from Gnome 40 or Gnome 40, and why I can't use it still after 10 years since the latest Gnome implementation originally came out in 2011, Gnome 3. Now it's Gnome 40, a big jump from Gnome 3 dot something to Gnome 40, but we'll talk about that here in a moment. I don't know how many people are going to jump into the live chat, but that's okay. You guys can watch this later. I had nothing to do tonight, so I just thought I would jump on to say hello. Okay, so this is a comments corner, and I picked about I don't know, about 8-9 comments, somewhere around there, random order. So let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you for all of your comments. Thank you for all the birthday wishes here and on Facebook. It was a nice birthday, nice sunny day, and I went out to eat twice, and I felt stuffed that day like an Italian would feel stuffed. Eating that day, I didn't even have any wine. But I will this weekend, so thank you for the birthday wishes. Alright, let's go ahead and go to some of your comments. And basically what I did with this, I just copied and pasted some of the comments from the YouTube page using LibreOffice Writer. Hopefully this will work. So let's go ahead and transition here, and let's see if this is going to work. And I believe it will. Okay. Alright, this is from Fullmetal. Hello, Fullmetal. The thing that bugs me about Gnome is that it's always been heavy. In 3.34, it became kind of okay for performance. And now it's back being sluggish. I don't understand why no desktop icons, dock, or panel. I tried Gnome with defaults. Initially, I thought it was really good, but when I had more windows open, it drove me crazy. Okay, there is a panel at the top, but unless you go to tweaking and try downloading Gnome extensions, and hopefully that it will not break the system, you really can't do much with the panel, as opposed to say the Mate desktop, Cinnamon, xfce, and the list goes on and on. So yeah, that's what drives me crazy too, because by default the workflow was just not as smooth as would my favorite, which would be Ubuntu Mate. But I would have to agree on that. As far as being sluggish, well, when I tested it, it used 2.6 gigs of RAM. A little high, but that's the way Gnome was designed. So be it. Okay, let's go into the second comment. Again, I just picked these at random. This is from Vincenzo. He says, Gnome has grown on me, especially when you realize what they are trying to do. The generation have grown up using smartphones would be right at home. Us dinosaurs. Speaking of dinosaurs, Godzilla vs. Kong looks terrific. Us dinosaurs with our desktop icons and minimize buttons should just check into our retirement homes and sip on our Mai Tais. Vince, as long as the retirement home is on South Beach with a bunch of blondes, I'll have all the Mai Tais that they can give me. Yeah, to each his own. The Gnome desktop is not for me. Okay, let's go to number 3. Necromancer says KDE Plasma is my choice. You know, the last year or two, KDE Plasma is gotten much, much faster. It looks great, and maybe this would be something for beginners. Sure. He says, Gnome and its extensions for basic features still makes no sense to me. I agree that it looks great. It does look great. You know, anything based off the modern Gnome desktop looks terrific. And it's stable. That's not the issue. But yeah, it's the default setup, the default desktop for Gnome 40, to me, does not quite make sense in terms of the workflow. And I've talked about that before in the previous video, which you may want to check it out. All right, next comment here, number 4. I hope I say the name correctly. Ishan Agarwal. Maybe it isn't for you and it's fine. For me, I spend more time on a web browser, Vim, Emacs, and a PDF viewer, so the one thing I really like about Gnome is the Workspaces, okay? For me, no desktop comes close to the implementation that Gnome has. About some things I agree there are inconsistencies, for example, about the sound settings. If I press super and type sound, settings will open up sound settings, but it doesn't happen when you click menu on the upper right corner. That drove me nuts 10 years ago, and it still does. About the extensions breaking, there aren't a lot of people available to fix the breaking of extensions. There have been some initiatives taking place on the behalf of Gnome devs and the community to provide better guides to support the extensions to Gnome 40 by some tutorials and documentations. Well, maybe if Gnome wasn't so complex, maybe we wouldn't need all these extensions. Hence, devs would have more times to fix other things. Just a personal observation about this, but there's nothing more frustrating in downloading an extension and it breaks a system and/or it doesn't work. You're trying to make your system more friendlier, and it's frustrating. So I'm not the only one. Okay, next comment. This is from 67. What's up, Station 67? How are you there? I think you're in the UK, right? He says, Gnome was so nice in Gnome 2 era. Ah, she's so nice. I like Gnome Shell now that I'm more used to it, but still not a patch on what Gnome 2 was. We still have Gnome 2. It's called Ubuntu Mate or Mate. Yeah, I mean, Gnome Shell looks terrific. It always has. But in terms of mouse gestures and, you know, doing less work to get your work done or less work to do productive work, yeah, Mate Desktop, fork of Gnome 2 is the way to go in my opinion. So, yeah. All right, next comment. We have a few more. This is from Stellar Productions, Zorin OS, Linux Mint, and Pop OS are all better for beginners and for gamers. Put this Gnome 40 garbage down the garbage chute. Stellar, thank you for making me laugh. I believe I replied to this, and I did say if you install extensions and they work, it's not garbage at all. But it's a gamble. And yeah, see, with desktops like XFCE, Mate, or even Arch, I dare say, you know, it's up and running from the start. You don't have to do a lot of tweaking or installing extensions or this and that. It's just those other desktop environments just make more sense in terms of the workflow. And yeah, but obviously, if none of the extensions work, then I guess it would be garbage. But usually some extensions will work. So I will not go that far. Yeah. All right, 2 more. And we'll wrap it up for tonight. This is from Tony. I have been using Fedora 34 with Gnome 40 for over a week. No problems. No crashes, and I'm really liking it. It's all about choice and what works for you. Tony, I could not agree more. If it works for you and it works the way you want it to, 100% I agree, sir. The best desktop is the one that works for you. All right, last one. And finally, from Low Spec Linux Laptop, he says XFCE for the win. You know, if it wasn't for the Mate desktop, I would probably switch to XFCE, like, let's see, I think Linux Mint has XFCE still, right? Linux Lite has XFCE. I'm not sure if Zorin does, but yeah, if it wasn't for the Mate desktop and I wanted something fast, simple, lightweight, easy to customize immediately, if it wasn't for Mate, I would definitely have chosen XFCE. So definitely XFCE for the win, if that is yours of choice. All right, so before I say goodnight, let me see if there's anybody in the chat room. Probably not too many. We have a few. Razor is in the house. What's up? Wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so bloated. If you turn off animations using Gnome tweaks, then it's just about usable. Vincenzo's in the house. Good day, mates. Yes, XFCE for the win, Razor. So, those are my thoughts on this comments corner and your thoughts about all this. You know, with the latest Gnome 40, I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted it to be easier. Wanted it to be easier, you know? Yes, I'm checking the chat now because I haven't had my wine, okay? Okay, so look, I'm all out of Mai Tais. Vincenzo, how are you? Anyway, this was not scheduled live event, so I didn't really expect too many people. But that's okay. That's all right. I'm just chilling for tonight. And I might go see Godzilla tomorrow or next day in versus Kong. I wish we had a theater here in town. They shut it down. Thanks, AMC. Anyway, any final thoughts, you folks in the chat? Because I'm done. I'm going to relax for the evening and sleep in tomorrow and have a glass of wine. If Gnome was as light as XFCE, I think way more people would be using it. I don't think that would be enough. I think the workflow will still drive them nuts as it drives me nuts. You can't right-click on the desktop, go straight to terminal, drag and drop files, folders. The shortcuts on the top right don't make any sense. You can't customize the panel, add a panel. It goes way beyond that, Razor. It goes way beyond that, yeah. But look, Gnome 40 looks great. It's stable. I give the devs credit, but there just hasn't been that much improvement in 10 years. There just hasn't. So I'm going to stick with Mate for what it's worth. Yeah. Well, on that note, I'm going to have me some wine. And I'm actually writing a song on my tribute to Ubuntu Mate. Now, I'm not a singer. I wish Stephanie was back in the States. I could use some tips. But I have this song in my head, and I'm not sure how to record it, how to do it. You know, it's something like Ubuntu Mate is simply the best. Wait, Ubuntu Mate is simply the best. I don't need GNOME extensions giving me constipations. Something like that. I am by no means a singer-songwriter, but I thought I would pay my tribute to Martin Wimpress and the team at Ubuntu Mate for giving me my current Linux Gold standard. So thank you, Martin Wimpress. You simply are the best. All right. Yes, GNOME 2 it is great in the form of the Mate desktop, Razor. Totally agree. And Vinny says, someone changed the radio station. Yeah, welcome to the Toss Today radio station. It's amateur hour. I'm serious. I'm going to have to write down all the lyrics in my head, and I'll have it when I'm finished. I'm going to sing it. I'm going to make a fool out of myself, just for fun. But it's all in good fun to tribute to Martin Wimpress and team Ubuntu Mate. They are the best. All right, well, that gallon of wine is staring me in the face, Vince. I'm going to go have a sip, and I'm done with this. Be safe out there. So we might do a private chat this Friday evening. Hopefully we'll get more people on. I know there's a lot going on today in life, so maybe we'll have a chat then if you would like to join us on the private chat. Those of you who contribute to the live shows through PayPal and Patreon, that's how I get your emails. So yeah, I don't solicit emails and I don't give them out. So it's up to you if you would like to join. So yes, Wine Up. Wasn't that a song? Wine Up. Oh, that was Word Up. Word Up. That's what it was. Word Up. All right. Ciao. Arrivederci.